Israel is strengthening its defense ties with NATO partners, but why now? From joint military drills to advanced tech sharing, this move could reshape the security balance in Europe and the Middle East. Today, we break down exactly what's happening and what it means for global security. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel! Today, we're diving into a major development that could reshape both European and Middle Eastern security, Israel expanding its defense ties with NATO partners. For years, Israel has maintained limited cooperation with NATO through exercises, intelligence sharing, and observer missions, but now things are escalating to a new level. With the growing threat environment, from Iran's missile program to Russia's actions in Ukraine, NATO sees Israel as a valuable partner for intelligence, cyber defense, and missile interception technology. In this video, we will explore how these partnerships are being formed, what kind of military drills and agreements are taking place, and why it matters not just for Israel or NATO, but for the entire global security structure. We'll also look at how this impacts neighboring countries, how Russia might respond, and whether this could create new flashpoints in an already tense geopolitical landscape. So stay tuned, because this topic is more than just about weapons and alliances. It's about the future balance of power. Let's start with the basics. What does it mean for Israel to expand defense ties with NATO? Israel is not a NATO member, but it is considered a major non-NATO ally by the United States and has been part of NATO's Mediterranean dialogue since 1994. This dialogue allows Israel to participate in NATO activities such as joint planning, training, and intelligence cooperation. Recently, however, Israel has been invited to participate in more advanced exercises, including naval drills in the Mediterranean and cyber defense simulations with European members. This is significant because Israel brings unique battlefield experience and advanced weapons technology that NATO countries find valuable, particularly in missile defense and drone warfare. NATO, in return, offers Israel greater integration into Western defense planning and access to training opportunities with elite European and American forces. Together, this exchange of knowledge and resources enhances NATO's ability to respond to hybrid threats while giving Israel reassurance of collective Western support. A major area of cooperation is missile defense technology. Israel's Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow missile systems have gained global recognition for their effectiveness in intercepting incoming threats. Several NATO countries, particularly Poland, Romania, and even Germany, are interested in learning from Israel's multi-layered air defense network. In fact, Germany recently signed a deal to buy the Arrow 3 missile defense system from Israel in one of the largest defense deals in Israeli history. This is a game changer because it creates interoperability between NATO's air defense systems and Israel's technology. Imagine a future scenario where NATO troops stationed in Eastern Europe can rely on Israeli systems to shoot down ballistic missiles. That level of cooperation not only protects NATO soldiers, but also deepens trust between Israel and the alliance. It also gives Israel an additional market for its defense exports, strengthening its economy and defense industry simultaneously. Another important dimension is cybersecurity. Israel is known as a global leader in cyber warfare capabilities, with a vibrant tech ecosystem and elite cyber defense units such as Unit 8200. NATO, which has been increasingly targeted by cyber attacks from state and non-state actors, sees Israel as an invaluable partner in this domain. Joint exercises have focused on simulating attacks on critical infrastructure, communication networks, and military systems. This collaboration allows NATO members to strengthen their cyber defenses while allowing Israel to test its tools in diverse international scenarios. It's not just about preventing hacking, It's about building resilience so that even if an attack succeeds, operations can continue with minimal disruption. The integration of Israeli cybersecurity expertise into NATO's planning could drastically reduce vulnerabilities across the alliance, which is crucial at a time when hybrid warfare, a mix of conventional attacks and digital sabotage, is becoming the norm. But what's driving this closer partnership now? The answer lies partly in geopolitics. NATO is dealing with a more aggressive Russia after its war in Ukraine and wants to strengthen its southern flank. Israel, on the other hand, is worried about Iran's growing influence in Syria and Lebanon, as well as its nuclear program. By aligning closer with NATO partners, Israel sends a message to Tehran that it has strong backing from the West. This creates a deterrence effect, making it riskier for Iran or its proxies to escalate attacks. At the same time, Israel gets access to more intelligence, sharing platforms that help it monitor threats in the Middle East and beyond. This convergence of interests, NATO's need for advanced technology and Israel's need for political backing, explains why this partnership is accelerating now. Let's talk about the military exercises. In recent months, Israel has hosted and participated in several multinational drills involving NATO members. One major example is the Blue Flag exercise, where air forces from Germany, Italy, the UK, and the US train alongside Israeli pilots. These drills simulate complex scenarios like defending against mass missile barrages, operating in contested airspace, and coordinating multinational responses. On the naval side, Israel has joined NATO maritime exercises in the Mediterranean to practice anti-submarine warfare and secure shipping lanes, a critical issue given recent attacks on commercial vessels in the region. These exercises not only sharpen military skills, but also improve interoperability, meaning that if a real conflict occurs, NATO and Israeli forces can operate together seamlessly without wasting precious time figuring out communication and logistics. Of course, not everyone is happy about this closer partnership. Russia has voiced concerns about Israel getting too close to NATO, warning that it could upset the delicate balance Moscow maintains with Tel Aviv, especially in Syria, where Russian and Israeli forces sometimes coordinate to avoid clashes. Similarly, countries like Turkey, which is both a NATO member and a critic of some Israeli policies, might find this partnership politically uncomfortable. These tensions mean that Israel has to play a careful diplomatic game, cooperating with NATO without completely alienating other regional players it needs to engage with. It's a balancing act, and one wrong move could create new tensions in an already volatile region. Another angle to consider is the economic one. Israel's defense industry stands to benefit enormously from closer NATO ties. Defense exports are already one of Israel's biggest revenue streams, and deals with NATO members are likely to grow in size and frequency. Beyond weapons, Israel's expertise in drones, AI-driven battlefield systems, and cybersecurity solutions could become staples in NATO procurement programs. This will boost Israel's economy, create jobs, and fund further R&D into cutting-edge technologies. For NATO members, buying Israeli systems means getting battle-tested solutions that are ready to deploy immediately, rather than waiting years for domestic programs to mature. This creates a win-win situation that further incentivizes cooperation. The question then becomes, how does this affect the ordinary citizen, whether in Israel, Europe, or even the wider world? For Israelis, stronger NATO ties mean better security guarantees and potentially fewer large-scale wars if deterrence works as intended. For Europeans, it means having access to world-class missile defense and cyber protection, which could shield cities from threats ranging from rogue missiles to ransomware attacks. For the wider world, it could mean a more stable Eastern Mediterranean region, though some critics argue that increasing militarization can sometimes provoke more conflict instead of preventing it. Public opinion on these alliances will therefore play an important role in shaping future cooperation. In conclusion, Israel's expanding defense ties with NATO represent more than just military exercises and arms deals. They symbolize a deeper integration of Israel into the Western security architecture, bringing benefits in technology, deterrence, and geopolitical influence. However, this also comes with risks, including possible backlash from adversaries and complicated diplomacy with nations outside NATO. As the world becomes more multipolar and conflict zones heat up, partnerships like this will become increasingly important. The big question is whether these moves will make the world safer or push rivals to escalate further. What do you think? Will Israel's closer cooperation with NATO lead to more stability, or will it provoke more confrontation? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more global security analysis, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss an update.